we're back at it. I had to take a few days off. I've been pretty under the weather. Got a pretty bad upper respiratory infection, so if you hear anything in there, that's why. You can see I've got the pans welded in on both sides. I went through and I did some sandable primer along all of the major seams and weld areas. Kind of cleaned down any of the welds that need a little touch up. I'm gonna go through today and we're gonna put some seam sealer on. This is the product that I have that I picked up. It's called Barrier Bond. I guess we'll see how it works. Polyurethane seam sealer, and we're gonna try to make sure that we work it into all the joints, get it nice and deep in there. We want to make sure we get pretty tight down in all those spots. Anything that's got a little hole in it, we want to make sure we cover up. You can see when I went through and put the pans on, I did use some self tappers. I did that for a couple reasons. One, they're going to be covered over by seam sealer, and two, it really helped pull the pan against the frame in the tunnel, so then I can go through and just tack the rest. It worked pretty well for getting everything tightened up. I could go back in and take those out, but I don't really see a need. So the product, you use it like a caulk gun, or like any tube of caulk. Put it in the caulk gun, squeeze it, and you just cut your tip to your desired width. And I'm going to use a little flux brush. I think I've got a couple of them lying around, and just get it down nice and deep into the seams so that it goes in there. So here we go. And so there we are. Seam sealer is applied. It's going to be a black undercoat, so that's why I want the black seam sealer. It also helps me see to make sure I got in all the creases. It doesn't have to be super pretty because it's going to get put under the black paint. And it's, hey, it's there. It's going to keep anything from leaking through. Should help with any of the edges rusting in the future. I went around the head of the frame a little bit and got some of the seams up here, even though those were pretty tightly welded. And in the back, where I cut out heater control tubes, I just went and shot a little seam sealer in there, and then the opposite one on the bottom. So that's where we are. It's pretty much ready to have that dry. I think it's going to take a few hours based on the product. It says give it a few hours for drying, and then we're going to be ready to paint. Hopefully in the next few days, we'll go out and get our paint and get working on this thing. I'm probably going to end up rolling or brushing the paint for the chassis here because the weather is not our friend right now. It was 70 some odd degrees yesterday, and here we go again. It's Maryland in February. That means it's in the 40s and blowing about 20 miles an hour. So definitely not painting weather. So huge progress. I think this is a big deal that the chassis is ready to be painted. I have a bunch of parts that have come in recently. So I have wheels. I have my hubcaps. Over here, I've got tires. So on the fronts, I'm gonna have 185, 60, 15s. And on the rears, I think that's, I'm gonna have to walk around and find a label on them. I forget what they are. There it is upside down, 225, 60, 15s. So I've got about 3 inches of extra width on the rear as compared to the front. But I mean, when you really look at the stock wheels compared to those, I've got double the width on the rears as compared to the front. Down here in the parts bin, I have 4-wheel disc with the e-brake integrated. I've got a bunch of stuff up here to start going on. Brake lines sitting up there on the shelf, so the brake lines will go on after the paint goes on. And I want to get this to be a roller shell so that we can get ready to have the body in here, because then we can start working on the body. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be back in another week. Hopefully make a bunch more progress. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. And I'm going to try to start up a little something here to see if anybody wants to help out and support. This is a self-funded activity. I don't have anybody else funding it right now. I'm trying to cash flow the whole thing so I don't go into any debt with it. So if we have anybody out there that really wants to help out, and hey, I'm not too proud to say if there's anybody out there that wants to have me sponsor a product, I'm willing to try it out. I'll go for it. Let me know. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys another week. Take care. Bye.